job so far. It's been really good.
Okay, it's that new Spider-Man gameplay. Never before seen.
I do want to emphasize
Let's see what it look
how
like.
beautiful this game is.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah,
Teamwork
Brian,
really
tell
hard.
me a little bit about what you guys want to show us this evening.
So I think, I mean, the big thing is, again, you know, I think the part
Yeah,
of
he ate that.
the Spider-Man fantasy is to swing around New York City and, you know, to have, you know, not only just a great story, but have a bunch of different activities in that world. And we wanted to, you know, give people who attend E3 an opportunity to experience that. So, you know, obviously it's a big narrative-driven experience, but at the same time, a part of that superhero fantasy, especially that Spider-Man experience, is living within New York City and seeing that. So, you know, Adam is he's one of our combat pro players because he's a combat designer, and again, he's just showing off some really awesome stuff that as you get better with the game, obviously, you know, we wanted to have a pick up a play feel, but at the same time, have a level of mastery and to really show off the improvisation that we've really been talking about a lot since we announced the game.
I'm digging this, like sticking dudes to walls and to the floor and stuff. That looks really satisfying.
I mean, I think the thing that's been really fun in these last, you know,
Yeah, I hope they made it like Spider-Man 2,
where
you can
every week
but you have to have something around you to swing, not that aircraft where you can just swing anywhere.
I didn't know you could do that. So I think there's a lot of that. There's that sandbox nature to it.
Spider-Man
as
2
well.
was a great
I mean,
game.
obviously you can, you know, we're going to teach you mechanics, but we want you to experiment with, you know, his acrobatics, his webs, his gadgets, his suit powers. So combining all that stuff really allows for a lot of different gameplay and a lot of, you know, Spider-Man's a very expressive character. We want players to be able to express that, whether it's in traversal or in combat.
It's gorgeous.
These animations, these animations are just blowing my mind.
Your studio has kind of been renowned for character animation and for just fluid
This
motion.
nigga landed like the Hulk.
Did you guys take a lot of lessons from your previous games?
That
and really,
nigga
like,
said
hone in
what's
on
up.
those when you were
Oh,
developing
I
this?
mean, I think animation's definitely been one of the hallmarks of our company. You know, from
I heard that nigga
from
back, man.
Spyro to Ratchet to Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, I remember when the Sunset Overdrive reviews came out, one person actually wrote, it would be great to see Insomniac make a Spider-Man game, and I was like, see, we should make it.
See,
and I think
you waved your phone around to the whole studio.
Exactly, we took that kind of mentality and we just injected our personality, but also, you know, what do people want, desire from the Spider-Man experience. So, you know, it was really great. As I remember, probably around the end of the year, end of last year, someone wrote an article about the top things they want to see in Spider-Man, and they said they want it to feel like an Insomniac game. So I think that's the thing we've been really layering on in this last year is to have that, it feels like an Insomniac game as much as it does a Spider-Man game.
And I love this traversal. I mean, just the fluidity of just moving over great distances very quickly. It looks like a lot of fun just moving around, and that's when you know you've got a great game.
Damn, that nigga
so
died.
So you know how I kind of said like
Spider-Man killed
experimenting,
somebody.
but like sometimes, you know, I mean, game development, we're in meetings a lot, and then sometimes you just need to like take a break. And what I used to find myself doing was just swinging around New York City. It was almost like therapeutic. It's just kind of like when I play other games, I just walking or running or even taking a car. It feels so more natural now just to swing around like Spider-Man.
But
So
they try to integrate the little
definitely one of those
Arkham.
things that has that, again, just like combat, that pick and play feel, but we want players to have a level of mastery as they play and get
What
better.
was that? Hold on a second. That's very interesting what you're saying there.
So like I said, so Adam showed off, I think he showed off the tripwire. It's basically a gadget that you can either attach to
That guy
a
died.
piece of geometry, and the enemies walk by, they'll get like grabbed and sucked back. But you can also attach it to an enemy, and if an enemy walks by, they kind of slam into each other.
That is amazing. This is so cool. What's this focus meter about?
Yeah, so the focus meters basically, there's kind of a risk reward. As you build focus, you can use it to heal.
Sid's having a religious
It just looks
experience.
incredible.
Okay, thank you. The team works really, really hard on it. Really, really hard.
Clearly.
And the idea is the focus is kind of a way it's a risk reward. Like I said, you can either heal yourself or you can kind of, if you fill up the bar a certain way, you can actually pull off a finishing move. So, you know, as you play the game, you kind of say, well, do I
Suit power,
want
what's
to
that?
maybe heal myself real quick, or do I want to wait for that really extravagant move to kind of take the guy
I wonder
out?
if they would integrate like the
A
Iron
question
Spider
for you is,
thing.
Obviously, Spidey has, as with his experience being under the mask for so many years now.
Yep,
in
8
your
years.
Story, 8 years. Thank you. You got to be precise.
I got it. One of the first questions I get is like, is it an origin story? I'm like, no. That was like
he's
after we
experienced.
decided that the webs were definitely attached to the buildings. we decided it's not going to be an origin story.
But you know, back to the combat. I mean, Spidey's experience. He has access to a lot
That
of
guy died.
different techniques.
3 people have
technology.
died so far.
How do you balance out his experience with the fact that you don't want to overwhelm a player with options, right? You want to make it approachable.
You know, I really that comes down to our combat team, our traversal team,
Like
and
this guy
our
right
design,
here.
like Adam, and really going, okay, you know, kind of handing that stuff out over the course of the game. You know, finding the right spots where you kind of, okay, we're going to teach you how to punch and how to kick and how to punch guys up in the air and use your webs. But then we layer on things like gadgets and then the suits and the suit powers. And it's kind of giving over time. If we just, you know, one thing with something like E3, you know, we want you to feel great, right? But there's a lot to learn really quickly. So we just, you know, normal course development, we kind of find those spots in the game where it makes most sense to teach those mechanics. And then as the game goes on, we want you to master those because the game's only going to get harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Sid, what do you think?
I gotta say, this game is looking
Beautiful, right?
absolutely gorgeous. This is, I mean, this is just, I mean, it was looking spectacular to begin with, but this is on a totally different level. And I can just see that
so much.
I can see that polish, though. That's the thing, and that's what comes out in that final few months of development.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watched the press conference, right?
Sure.
You saw all those games, those first-party games, and they all have a level of polish. And to be,
Like, this is something you can
in
just
a
play
press
just to be
conference
just
with
chilling.
the
You
likes
just
of
swing
Sucker
around New
Punch,
York.
Kojima Productions. Just we are very honored to be, and we know there's a certain level of polish that people expect from a PlayStation game, especially a first-party game. So we want to be considered right up there.
Well,
And not to mention also from the Marvel, you know, Marvel
Of
fans
course.
expect to have that perfect experience.
of course.
May I just ask real quickly, you know, as we're starting to wind down here, from a personal perspective, I mean, what's it like for you and for the team to be able to kind of look up at the big screen and see your game after all that time? How's
Well,
that work?
I'm known as a crier, so it takes a lot for me not to get choked up. Like right now, they're playing the theme song to the game in the background as we're sitting here, and
yeah.
I mean, this is an amazing industry, and to be part of it is one thing, but to work on something you truly love is something that when you were a little kid thinking, oh my God, could I ever work on a Spider-Man game, let alone be in video games, is just absolutely surreal. I use that word a lot when I describe working on this game.
Yo, if that
It's
nigga
work
pulled
with
the wings
like
out,
Sony and
I'd
work
have
with
been
Marvel.
done.
And
That shit would
that
been wild.
feeling is felt by so many
He stuck that landing, though.
we couldn't be prouder, and the support we've gotten across the board, not only from Sony, Marvel, but also the fans.
Brian, it just looks incredible. I mean, there's no other word for it. And
Well, you're flabbergasted.
I really am. It's stunning. I mean, just look at that. How can you
Who
not
was
be
that?
blown away by that? But we do have a limited amount of time here, Brian. You're an industry veteran. You've been in the industry for a long time. I know this is a lifelong dream for you working on this game. And I want to thank
That's
you,
a nice shirt.
Insomniac, for making it.
Thank you for having us.
And for coming by as well.
Spider-Man was so awesome that it broke my mic, and I have to use this stick right now.
I was gonna
I thought you just wanted to look different from all of us.
Yeah, I just wanted to stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, Sid, actually,